Hi, this is John Kim with IB The Top, and today we will be looking into everything you need to know about the Maths IA. Let's first go over the breakdown of the Maths internal assessment, the what's, the why's, and the how. First of all, what is the IA? Well, the IA is a 12 to 20 page written exploration investigating an area of mathematics of the student's choice. Why does the IB hold this type of assessment? Is to help students gain a better understanding of the mathematical processes and concepts, as well as develop a wider appreciation for math itself. As for the students, it's important for you to take this seriously and do well on your IA, because this is going to constitute 20% of your overall IB math score. How? Who is going to grade it? Your teachers are the ones who are going to be grading your IAs first, hence the name internal assessment. Afterwards, the graded papers are going to be sent to external graders who will moderate the overall scores. So teachers who seem to have given generous grades will have their papers graded down, and teachers who are too harsh on their students may see their grades overall go up. Lastly, there are five criteria by which the IA is assessed, and a total of 20 points is given to determine your IA score, which will later be added to your 80% external assessment marks. The format of the IA is as follows. Students are recommended to spend about 10 to 15 hours towards this project, and the 12 to 20 page count with double line spacing includes any formulas, charts, tables, graphs, and appendices. Note, however, that the bibliography is not included in the page count, so some students may have an IA that's slightly longer than 20 pages because they have a works cited list. In addition, some teachers and schools may require additional work, such as outlines, proposals, and reflections in order to verify the authenticity of the student's work. Let's now move on to the purpose of the IA. The Maths IA should be an immersive experience where the student is able to demonstrate the application of their skills and knowledge and pursue their personal interests without the time constraints of a written examination. Furthermore, I kid you not, this is straight from the 2021 math syllabus. Students should be able to fully appreciate the power, the beauty, and usefulness of maths. Also, after completing this IA, students should be able to ask their own questions instead of solving the problems given to them in a textbook. And students should also learn to experience and appreciate technology as a tool for mathematical problem solving. Let's now go over the roles and responsibilities of the school teacher in the IB process. So according to the IB official guidelines, the student is expected to consult the teacher throughout the IA process. So the teacher is there to make suggestions and provide advice to the student in terms of how the research is going. The teacher can also make any notes of what kind of errors or inaccuracies a student has, but they're not allowed to directly edit and make the correction for the student. This part is left to the student. So I would like to emphasize three keywords: initiative, independence, and resourcefulness. So the student is the one making the final calls in the IA, so they should be the ones taking initiative. They should be independent, as in they should use multiple sources to back up their arguments with research, calculations, and proofs. And lastly, they should be resourceful. So the teacher is there, but they can only help so much. So the student has to ask the right questions to elicit the proper help they need from their advisors. So instead of being a passive learner, I would recommend that students take the initiative and become an active learner. Ask the right questions, figure out what you need to do in order to fulfill your IA's aim. Let's take a deeper dive into the assessment criteria. So there's a total of 20 marks spread across 5 criteria, A, B, C, D, and E. Criteria A, presentation, is worth 4 marks. Let's look at the 3 keywords mentioned in the grade descriptors. First, it's coherence. Is the IA coherent? Is it logically developed with a clear structure? And is it meeting the aim without straying too far into other tangents? Secondly, we have well-organized. So a well-organized IA places these graphs, charts, formulas, and diagrams in the appropriate places throughout the main essay so that these visuals are there to help explain, help communicate the argument. So we don't want to place everything, all the tables and analysis in the appendix. We want to place it throughout the IA at the right place and the right time. Lastly, we have the word concise. So a concise IA is to the point. It does not have any redundant or repetitive calculations, explanations, or descriptions. Criterion B, mathematical communication, is worth 4 marks, and how well you do in this section is determined by how methodically, how meticulously you define the key terms, symbols, and variables that you use throughout your IA. You should have a balanced usage of various channels of communication and visuals, and you should be very careful not to use calculator notation. So the asterisk or SQRT is used to denote multiplication and square root, but you should use Microsoft Word, the equation software, to make sure that the symbols are proper. And you shouldn't be using colloquial terms like plugging this value into X. Instead, you should be using proper terms like substitute. Criteria C, personal engagement, is worth 3 marks and is determined by the following keywords: creative, original, independent, authentic, significant, personally driven. While it is true that there is some room for subjective judgment here, ultimately it's about execution. In order to persuade the reader that you're really invested and committed to this topic, you need to demonstrate your understanding of the whole context of the problem you propose. So you should demonstrate to the reader, you should impress them that you know the ins and outs of your topic, to show that you're truly passionate about what you're writing about. So let's take a few examples of the do's and don'ts of personal engagement. One might claim they're interested and personally engaged with Goldbach's conjecture ever since a young age. So don't try to fool the reader. It's not enough that you simply write that you're interested in a topic. You need to show authentic experiences. So you need to be very frank and down to earth about why you're doing this topic. So for instance, one person might claim that he's a young investor interested in majoring in finance, and he wants to talk about a profitable and safe portfolio management. And that's how he came across Markowitz's portfolio models. Another person might want to understand how his or her earphones work. So nowadays we have sound canceling earphones, and this person may have come across a paper talking about Fourier transformation and how that's applied to sound waves. So these are some examples and the lengths and extent to which you should go in order to get full marks on the personal engagement. Criteria D, reflection, is all about the following. First of all, you should summarize what you found throughout your exploration. What did you learn? What are the implications? What comes next? Then you should talk about the strengths and weaknesses of your exploration so as to compare different perspectives regarding a topic or compare different approaches and methodologies. How could you have solved the same problem in different ways? Is one method better than the other, or is the approach you took, is that the most optimal that could have been done? Criteria E, use of mathematics. This section is worth a staggering 6 points. It's one of the most heavily weighted sections in the IA, but it's also where students' scores tend to diverge. So if you need a good score on your IA, this part is where you need to excel at. If you look at the grading descriptor, it mentions the words to demonstrate understanding. So with evidence, we need to make clear that we're applying our knowledge. So you need to go above and beyond performing simple calculations. To score high in criteria E, it's really important that you have the right topic. The topic should be commensurate with the level of mathematics you're taking. So there are some different expectations for a standard level and higher level. I'll cover that in another series. But what you need to make sure is you got to have a topic that's of the appropriate breadth and depth. Only then will we be able to demonstrate the required levels of sophistication and rigor as required in the IA. Lastly, let's move on to the criteria-specific strategies. For criteria C and E, personal engagement and use of mathematics, these are very topic-dependent. If you have a good, strong topic, you should have no problem getting high marks, whereas if you have a weak, simple topic, you may struggle a bit in order to obtain the highest of marks in these areas. Criteria A and B, I would like to stress that there is absolutely no excuse to lose marks here. Even if you have a relatively simple topic, that does not mean you can't write clearly and logically. So even if you have a weak topic, don't stress. You should always proofread your work, be attentive to detail, be meticulous, and you would have no problem getting full marks on scores A and B. Criteria D, reflection, may be a bit tricky because it's hard to be self-aware regarding the implications and significance of your work and your own strengths and weaknesses. This is where your school advisor may come in handy. So don't be afraid of being challenged. Go up to him, ask for some provocative questions, ask him to critique your work. Only then, by fully absorbing his criticisms and working to answer any provocative, challenging questions, only then will you be able to justify why you did what you did and why what you did is important. So hope that helps. So thank you for your time, everyone. Today we looked at what the IA is, how it's graded, what you should be aware of in order to do well on the IA, and what kind of attitude and work ethic and what kind of standards you should hold for yourself in order to get a 7 in your IA. This was John with IB The Top, and I hope to see you next time.